It was a dream come true, and that sounds like such a cliche, but you spend all your time on the training pitch and in the gym and putting in the work, and to be able to pull on the blue jersey is such a huge honour.
Ben had said that when you speak, the whole room listens. How does it feel to have that trust?
It's amazing to have his trust. You know, I had the opportunity to work with him in the Wolfhounds, and I've known about him for many years before that when he was with Blackrock. I'm a big detail person, so he's willing to give me all the information I need to be able to put things in place. With the kind of newer group that we have, it feels as though I'm able to put a bit more of my own stamp on it and not worry too much about what's gone before, and just be myself as a leader, you know, not the loudest voice, but trying my best to lead by example.
John Cronin described you as one of the most dedicated athletes to our development, someone who's coachable, honest, and maybe you'll be able to give us an insight into this, always willing to go into the pit.
When I think of people who've contributed to where I've gotten now, he's one of the top on the list. He can be a man of few words sometimes, so when it comes out on the Twitter, it's a big moment. You know you've made it. He's a big Twitter man. JC in his pit is a big learning curve and a very important part of my and so many girls' rugby development. The pit we talk about in my club in Railway is something that everybody experiences as a player. It's this case of when you come into a new rugby environment and you're pottering along and you think, oh, this is okay, I know what I'm doing, everything's okay, I'm learning, but I know what I'm doing, and then you suddenly drop off a cliff of being like, oh, actually, I know absolutely nothing. Everybody around here is a better player than me, they know more than me, and I'm never going to be as good as those around me. A terrible but really important place to be, and I'd say for so many of the girls who've come into this environment for the first time this year, Leinster's probably been a bit of a pit for them, but what I always try to say is, like, you got to be uncomfortable because that's where you grow the most. You know, when I came into Leinster for the first time, the likes of Hannah and Nikki Coffey would have been the people who would have put the arm around me and helped me to grow as a player and kind of settle into the environment, and so that's really what I've been trying to do, is to just put myself in the younger players' shoes and answer any questions and just be that person there that they feel they can come to.
And you alluded to young Molly there. If you were to go back and speak to her now and say that you're Leinster captain, how do you think she'd react?
I'm trying to take in big moments. You know, there's a lot of time in your life where exciting and big things can happen, and you don't take a minute to just sit with them and realise, you know, this is something that young me could only have ever imagined. And I think of myself, you know, in Trinity, picking up a rugby ball for the first time, you know, wanting to try something new and get involved and absolutely loving it from the first minute. And I don't think she would have ever imagined that this could have been possible. That week, there was a lot of tears shed by me, my family, just thinking that, like, this is a huge honour and something that I never could have imagined would have been possible.
You hear a lot of athletes talk about winning that piece of silverware. I suppose you were fortunate enough, to captain, or at least captain the side and lift the trophy with Hannah. How driven are you to hopefully have the same outcome again this year in terms of lifting that trophy?
We look at this year in terms of our performances, and we really want to put in really good work and, you know, play our best rugby on the pitch, and we want our performance to lead to really good outcomes. I'm not too distracted by the outcome at the end of hopefully 4 games at the end of this series, but looking towards that trophy, we don't want that to go anywhere. You know, we had the launch day there for the tournament, holding the trophy again. I don't want anybody else to take that away from us. You know, it's ours to go out and for everybody else to take it off us. So we're going to fight as hard as we can, and I'm really hoping that that's the outcome at the end of it.